Okay, so I have a list of things, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi, Killy Willy, and Bendy. If there's something else you want to draw, put it in the list, and we might do some voting for who wants to draw what. But does everyone want to draw Obi-Wan Kenobi? Either give me a thumbs up on the screen or with the little icon, or write yes in the chat. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, yes or no? I got one yes from Bella. Okay, that's what we're drawing. Bella, do we want to draw the realistic Obi-Wan Kenobi? I'm guessing the young Obi-Wan, or not the old one, or do we want to do the cartoony version? Excuse me. Let me see. Let's do it from Kenobi. There's not many body shots, which is not good. You want to get that lightsaber in there. Yeah, holding up a lightsaber. Gonna whack some fools. Okay, we'll make it a little cartoony so it's easier to draw. Even if I don't want to draw full on realistic things. So let's draw the stick figure first. We're gonna have the head there. Oh, you want to do realistic? It'll take a long time. It could take a whole lesson, and we won't get to draw anything else. All right. So we're going to add in the jaw. And then I'm drawing in the shape of his robes, sort of over his shoulder like that. This is his shoulder here. And then his arms coming forward. His hand is about level with his chin. And then his robes sort of hang down. So I'm just adding in some creases in the material. So it's just very loose and sketchy at the moment. Then his belly's down here. That's where his belt is. And all this material is sort of gathered up. Going that way. Other hand is there. And his lightsaber is shooting up that way. So that's a sketchy guide that you can get down to work with. Excuse me. Now, Bella and Alice, are you able to have your cameras on? I think Bella, you're on your mum's, so you can't do both at the same time. On your mum's phone, I think. Oh, Bella, you can. There you are. Look at you. You're gorgeous. Just so you can hold things up and I can see them. Alice, are you able to turn your camera on? If not, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But it's just easier to see and I can help you with the drawings when you hold them up. Okay, and I can see you nodding to answer a question. There you go. Look at you. You've got such pretty faces. Why do you need to hide your camera? All right, has everyone done this much of it? Hold it up so I can see where you're at, because this is important to get this sort of good. Yeah, Bella, that's good. I think you need to change the angle of his lightsaber though. Adrian. Oh yeah, I just couldn't see the lightsaber for a second. Okay. Oh, we got nothing better. Yeah, if you do have a background on it, it's sometimes hard to see. And great. So because his other hand is here, this is one where we're going to see all the fingers. His other sleeve is sort of coming down this way. So you can see a bit of the material, lots of creases in there. But that's going to be a bit darker there, so we won't worry too much about it. It's dark in there and dark in there. I'll show you the picture that I'm copying from. Oh, let's drop the phone. So over here, this is my messy desk, all my little toys and things. So here's our little chat. And then this is the picture we're doing. So that's the picture I keep looking at when I'm trying to draw something. Actually, there's a bigger one there. You can see his belt and everything. But I'm just doing that one. Okay. Back over to here. So yeah, sorry, I do keep coughing because I still have a bit of a sore throat. I'm not sick anymore, but my throat hasn't recovered yet. So I might lose my voice. So I'm just going to add a little bit of detail for the top of the lightsaber. And then even we can start putting in the fingers. We don't want them to be all the same angle. So there's thumb, which is just like the very tip of the thumb. And this finger is curving over. It's sort of getting hidden underneath these ones. So there's knuckle there. 1, 2, 3. So we need 2 more. 4. And little finger 5. Zoom out. See this. And on this hand, it's the thumb is coming underneath here. And then it's the back of the hand going up to the first finger. So we're seeing that. So the finger coming up here and the thumb wrapping around. So it's that kind of a shape. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the knuckles. There we go. So that's sort of what we've done for the hand. You can add the inside of the lightsaber that you're going to see between the hand, and if you've got gaps in the fingers, you'll see it too. It's probably not going to stick out. Oh, it does stick out the end, actually. You can see a little bit of it. If you follow this down, this one down, you can get a bit of a curve in for the back of it. So you've got the bottom of the lightsaber down there too. Actually, I just thought of a cool way to do the lightsaber. Because it's to do glowing things, I'm just going to rub out the pencil line. What I'm going to do is get my pencil and just lay it down on the page. So I'm sort of holding it like that. I'm holding it sort of like this. So it's, the lead is flat on the page like that. And I'm going to rub back and forth. I have to use my light. So this is going to be the glowy area. So I'm going to follow where that pencil line was, but just sort of go straight up, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like that. So we get something like that. And then I'm going to get my thin rubber and just erase the middle section in a straight line. And that looks a bit like the lightsaber. You can blur the edges with your finger, so it looks a bit like a glow. If you did that with a pastel or something, I don't know if you could erase that. You could try it with a colored pencil, but a lot of colored pencil doesn't erase. But that's one thing I just thought of we could do. Otherwise, if you were coloring it, you would do this bit. Oh, my phone's about to die. You would do that bit, the blue or whatever color you wanted the lightsaber to be, and then you could get like there's liquid paper things that look sort of like this. They got sort of a weird shape like that. You can see cogs and stuff inside. Have a little strip. They do liquid paper in like a line, so you hold them like this. You go. It'll do a straight line of white. Or you could use a Posca pen, or even just maybe a colored pencil that is white might work there as well. But getting that kind of glowing thing it's a hard thing to do. Okay, so let's get back to this. I'm about to lose everything off my table. My light's falling off. There we go. Okay, let's look at his face. We'll rub out the bottom of this circle. That first circle we drew. We don't need that. Keep the line in. That's showing us, excuse me, that's showing us the center of his face, like where his nose is going to be. And sort of around halfway, we'll put a line in because that's where his eyes are going to be. We're going to draw those in. Sort of an eyelid there, and his eye. Eyelid and his eye. And his brow is sort of up and then it comes down. So we're doing like semi-realistic. I think I made his eyes a bit too big. So his head's coming down there. We'll come in a little bit in the eye. And then we'll come out for his cheek. Like that. And about halfway down from the middle of where the eyes are to the chin, roughly there, is where the bottom of his nose is going to be. So you can add in the line of his nose, the shadow under his nose, even a nostril. And under that is where his mustache is going to start. And you can draw his little mouth open. I'm just going to do it black. Little lip, and then his beard coming out under that. He does have hair coming up the side of his face. It's not too noticeable on that side. It's more on this side. But we'll also have his ears start slightly above that eye line, sort of where his eyebrows are, down to about where his nose is. So we can do sort of the hair side of his face there. And I'll stop for a bit to let you guys catch up. So does anyone want to show me where they're up to so far? Oh, Bella, that looks cool. Good job. He looks a bit worried. He should be a bit more angry, but that's okay. Adrian, that's good. Yeah, cool. Maxwell. Oh, that looks really good. Have you got a question, Maxwell? Is that why your hand's up? Have you got a question as well? Because your hand, nope, your hand's gone down. Okay. Adrian is good. Alice, it's very small to see on my screen, even though I've got as big as me. Yeah, no, that's cool. All right. So I'm looking at his hair now. His hair sort of comes in a bit here. It goes up to where it's parted. And then it sort of comes across this way. And, oh, it's a bit longer there. Okay, so it sort of curls over. Sort of hangs down the side of his head. So we can get this sort of up. Now remember, the hair isn't sitting on the scalp. It has body of its own and volume. So it's a bit out from the skull. I'm just going to shade that in lightly. Or smudge it to blend the color. So that's pretty much it. It's just more about the solidifying some of these shapes in the material, which is hard to do if you don't have the reference material to look at. But I'm just doing a little bit of hatching here and there just to sort of show where shadow might be, like that. I'm going to thicken up some of the lines. Back here, I'm just going to just shade the whole thing in. Just let it sort of disappear into the background, same with his chest. Put in a couple of lines here and there. Because it makes it look further away if you shade things like that. So you want to put a definite line in where the robe is at the back. It's actually a bit open here too. So there's some shading underneath. And then even under his arm, a bit dark under there too. See, just sort of do a bit of a scribble and then I rub my finger over it. This helps blend it all together, especially if you're doing lots of scribbly lines like I'm doing. Just doing some random little squiggles and then sort of blend it in the direction that you're going. Like that. Now it's got a little bit of a color here. Let's come around and that. That's sort of it. Excuse me. So his lightsaber doesn't stand out too much because I could have done the shading a bit darker near the actual light part. There we go. So I'll let you guys catch up. So that took up half of the lesson. So you could draw him. I haven't watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi show yet, so I don't know what happens in it. But you could draw like a I don't know, a little R2 or a Darth Vader or something. A little Yoda or a Grogu. It's not a very good R2. Let's do a Grogu. Who else is there? Oh, like a little Ewok. Basically have a little mer. Little fuzzy teddy bears. There's some stitching and a spear. Adrian, when you leaned over, your sunglasses were like on your nose and your tongue. It was. I think it thought your nostrils. Yeah, I think your nostrils are your eyes. Bella, that's really cool. Looks like he's made of tartan though. Looks like he's wearing like a Scottish tartan because he did all the crisscrosses. Why do you want to draw you on an Xbox, Adrian? Well, the next thing on the list is Killy Willy. Does anyone want to draw Killy Willy? I'm not even sure who Killy Willy is. I have to look it up. A pig, Maxwell? You want to draw a pig? Adrian wants to draw. Who wants to draw Adrian playing a Xbox? Anyone? Collision. Kirby. Kirby's super easy to draw. Kirby is just a circle. Well, it doesn't even have to be a circle. It can be an oval. And he's got little shoes sticking out like that. He's got long eyes. And you can have a little mouth or you can have a big mouth. Little tongue inside. And then these little arms. He's sucking in all the air. So this Kirby, colossal. Pancake. I haven't had pancakes in such a long time, Bella. You're making me very hungry. Pancakes are pretty easy too. You can sort of just draw an oval as if you're drawing. There it is. Drawing one pancake. Turn it into a cylinder by drawing that same curve on the bottom. And then you can just turn that into multiple pancakes. But make sure you sort of round them off like that. You could do one that's a bit floppy, hung down, it covers them over. Another one there. One sticking out on the bottom. And you can do them a little, if you're going to color them, do them a little darker on the edges, like that. They sort of get a bit more golden on the edges. Then draw another oval for the plate. You could draw like a little bit of butter on top that's melting, or some syrup, and then you can have the syrup sort of coming down, dripping down all the things, all the pancakes like that, dripping, coming around the pancakes and then onto the plate. And this one could be dripping down to the plate there. A little bit of steam because they're nice and warm. How's that? Some pancakes. Looks like R2 and the Ewok are coming to eat pancakes. And can we draw you? As in, can you draw me? Do you even know what I look like? Have you seen me? All right, let me turn on my camera. I don't even know what I look like at the moment. I've been at work all day, so let's see. Turn my camera on. There we go. Hi. Oh, my room's a mess. That's me. I have glasses, mustache. My hair goes to one side. It's weird. But yeah, that's what I look like. All right. Okay, so can we draw a stick man holding a gun? Element. Oh, Emmett from Lego. Movie. Stickman holding a gun. That's so easy. Anyone can draw a stickman holding a gun because you have to then draw a stick gun as well. So you can just draw like an L shape with a stickman drawing a gun. A stickman holding a gun, I should say. But what you need to do is learn how to then turn that into an advanced stick figure with a proper skeleton. Of a person holding a gun. And then you can even get their legs. That. So you need to go from that to that. That's what I'm trying to teach you. So stop drawing stick figures. You need to draw skeletons like that you can then pose, and then you can draw bodies over the top. Adrian, stop spamming. Is this Jimmy? Jimmy. So, for example, if you wanted to draw someone playing an Xbox, this is for you, Adrian. I'm going to start with the spine, the head, do a side-on view. So that's where the nose and the eyes will be. So it's going to be sort of hunched over. So there's the rib cage. There's the pelvis. Shoulders down, up, and the arm bending down and up, holding the controller. The other one's going to be doing that too. His legs could be, maybe he's got his elbows on his knees. I was playing. His other one's sort of there. Cord, Xbox, TV, Xbox cord going up to there. There you go. Someone playing an Xbox. Is that good enough for you, Adrian? No, that's the beginning of it. You have to then clean it up. Oh yeah, and he's got his glasses on. He's cool 8-bit glasses on. There you go. Now it's you smiling. That's Adrian. His hair. There we go. And there's a big X on the Xbox. Who's Jimmy and Jill? Why did you say Jimmy and Jill, Bella? Are they two characters? I don't know that. A lot more characters. Timmy in Tank. It's Jimmy and Timmy. Timmy and Tank. I don't know what those are. Okay, so this is what I want you all to get to, and that's sort of how I've been drawing a lot of stuff too. Well, you made them all. So yeah, and then with this skeleton, you should be able to then rearrange that skeleton. Let's say, let's do, instead of a circle, we're going to do a bit of an oval, and then a jaw on the bottom. So we've got eyes here and a nose there, teeth here, and then the spine. And we'll do a big rib cage. So that's the front of the rib cage. It's the spine going down. pelvis down here. We'll do small legs. Squeeze out a bit. Small legs, but we'll do long arms. What does that look like? Anybody? Adrian, you can just type it. The first one to type it. Do you want to type it, Adrian? King Kong skeleton. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was thinking like a gorilla. But can you see how it's the same skeleton? Oh, I can't get them on the same screen. See how I've used the same skeleton as this one, but I just changed it. I just made the head bigger, the arms longer, and the legs shorter. So once you learn this skeleton, you can draw all kinds of things. So let's try another one using this skeleton. I'm going to do skull like this shape with an eye, a nose, a jaw. Can you tell? Because that phone is going to die soon. Let me plug it in. Can you tell what that's going to be already just from the skull? Sorry, I'm just plugging my phone in, so it was doing weird stuff. Close that, close that. So it could be a lizard or a bird, but then if I draw the spine in like this, right, still got the spine coming down, and we've got a bit of our spine that hangs down there, and that's our tailbone. You can feel it at the top of your bottom. There's a bit of bone right there. I'll draw in the rib cage. I'll draw in the pelvis. Now we've got the thigh and the knee. I'm going to make this longer, the calf muscle. Oh, Bella, that's a cute cat. And then the foot and the toes. And then up here, we can do the shoulder. Yeah, a bird, a chicken, that's right. Who said that? Marcus. The upper arm to the elbow, the forearm to the wrist, and then the fingers like that. So it's a bird skeleton, but I used all the same bones as this one. I just put them in a different order. So, Adrian, you got a question? You're not on mute. And ask a question.
First of all, why does the skeleton is so thin?
So what? Thin?
Yes, it's too thin.
Because it's a skeleton. It doesn't have any fat or muscles or organs on it.
But you didn't say it doesn't have any flesh, which is technically all that. So that means you're all wrong.
No, not at all. So what you would then do from this is let me grab a color.
And can you draw me, but my tongue having the glasses on having as a green screen?
Why don't you try and draw it and show me? So on this skeleton, you draw the skeleton first, and then you add on like the muscles, pectoral muscles like that, a belly if they got a belly. So you then sketch all that out, and you sketch out sort of the shape of the thighs, and you add the calf muscles. You come down for the ankles, and you put in all the toes. This one. So you start off with the skeleton, and then you add all those extra little bits on, like the face and details and stuff like that.
Oh my god. Back into effects.
I'm going to mute you again, Adrian. So that's why I say, like, you start off with the skeleton, and then you can develop, like, gives you the pose, and then you can add the skin and the muscles and the clothes and all that kind of stuff. So with this bird, I wanted to show you. If you can see Adrian's screen, it's got the glasses on his tongue. So with this bird, if the bird had its arm, say it was facing forwards, so you got an eye there, nose there, and the beak. And this is the middle, spine going down, the ribs. Shoulder was there. If its arm was out this way, because we've got one bone in our forearm, we've got down to our elbow. We've got two bones in our, one bone in our upper arm, two bones in our forearm. We have a thumb, but with the birds, they don't have fingers. They've got sort of a fusion of bones like that. So all the fingers are fused together. Draw a battleship. Okay. And then from that, they have the skin, and it sort of has a bit of a what do we call that, webbing, like we have between our fingers, this kind of webbing. Some people have a lot more. And then that comes up. There's like a little bit on the, comes around like this, and there's a bit of webbing down there. If you've ever seen like a raw chicken, pull out its wing and you'll see that's like an arm. And then from that, I don't have enough room on my page. Actually, I'll stick this one underneath. From that, you then have the big feathers that come out like this. And then ones that are slightly smaller, then they get smaller as they come in towards the body. And they got different layers of them. So the arm is still just like, or the wing is an arm, same as our arm. Would have our own arm sticking out. We'd have shoulder, upper arm, or we've got our shoulder, our bicep, and tricep, our elbow, our forearm, our thumb sticking out, and then we'd have our fingers like that. So that has the same bones in it. We've got little phalanges in here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, in each finger. So it's all the same bones except for the hand where it's sort of fused together. I've got a question there, Bella. Do you want to ask her a question? Unmute and ask her a question.
Can I draw my cat?
Yeah, well, how long have we got? We've got about 15 minutes. So we can draw a cat. We can draw, what was the other thing, a battleship. Looks a bit fat. What was that? The cat looks a bit fat. Bird, dinosaur. So yeah, well, that's the same as drawing a dinosaur as well. Okay, let's do a quick battleship, and then we'll do a cat. Let me get some reference, because I'm not very good at drawing transport. Battleship. It's always good to have reference. Okay. They're very, very detailed. All right. So I'm just looking at photo of one. I'll show you. This one there. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm looking at that one. And excuse me, sorry. So let's get the shape. So it's sort of on an angle like that. And it sticks up at the front. And it's a little bit at the back. Who are we still listening to? Bella. I'm just going to mute Bella. I don't know, what was that? Theode one Sout. Did you spell that right? I don't know what that is. So this sort of scoops down towards the line here and then sort of up again, sort of up like that. It's a bit of a curve. Adrian, what is your background? It's a tiger, isn't it? Oh, I've changed it. It's like a sort of like a phoenix, but with blue fire instead. I don't think we have time to do all that. So then this comes across sort of like that. And it's sort of straighter at the back. About here, there are 3 guns. I don't know who that is, Theod1 Sout. I'm going to have to look that up. And then that comes back a bit. And then there's another 3 guns up higher. This is just going to be really rough. And there's something at an angle here, like a roof or something. Oh, he's a YouTuber. Okay. What kind of videos does he make? A circular tank kind of thing here. And then there's a whole lot of stuff going on that I can't really tell what it is, but it gets built up to like a mast kind of shape, some little aerials and things coming off it. It comes down again. Some other stuff over here, I can't really tell. There's some more guns at the back. Like that. Oh, I forgot there's like a little satellite things and little towers at the back there. I think there's a little dish or something in the front there. Over here, I think there's an anchor there and one on this side. There's some kind of box here with another bunch of aerials and stuff. And that's about it. You could do some sort of whitewash. Lots of stuff at the back there. It's really rough, but that's basically it. And then you got just sort of little people everywhere doing stuff on the ship. How was that? Who asked for that? Was that you, Marcus, that asked for the ship? Yeah. Is that okay? As I said, I'm not very good at drawing ships, so it's only rough, and you can get the horizon in with a bit of waves here and there. So what I did, which is a good way for you guys to draw, is look at a picture of something and look at the shapes it's made up of. So let me just hold this up and this up. So you can sort of see it's almost the same size. That's freaky. Because you saw me, I didn't trace it, but it's almost the same size. Yeah, so I just eyeballed it, looked at the different shapes, look at the different lines, and look at that. It's still just a really rough drawing. Look how, it's pretty rough. There's lines everywhere. It's all over the place. There's no detail in these bits up here, but it's still it still looks like a battleship. Bella, what is that? A dog. What is he saying? Oh, woof woof. There you go. Very good. All right, Marcus, can I take that away now? Because we got a few minutes, and we're going to try and draw a cat. And I don't think we have time for Adrian's backup. Oh, is that the YouTuber there, Adrian? Sorry, I only just saw that. I've seen a few of those, the animation that he does with that character. Is that what you want to draw, that character, the white character? Because he's pretty easy to draw. He's just like a it's not quite the right size, but you know, his eyes are over like this, and then his mouth is sort of round. He's got a tongue in there. I think he has a big tongue, and he's looks like he's just pretty simple. And he doesn't even have fingers. He's just got sausage arms. You could even draw a skeleton for that guy. Actually, what if I drew it here? So it'd have holes for his eyes. It'd have teeth up here, teeth down here. That's his jaw. And then that's his skull. He would have a rib cage. So they're the ribs there. Pelvis sort of here. His spine, you might see a little bit of it there. He'd have thigh bone, his shin bones down to his heel, and his little toes. Thigh bone, shin bone, foot. Well, foot are actually phalanges and toes. Single bone, double bone, wrist bone, phalanges and fingers. Upper arm, forearm, wrist, hand, fingers. So that's sort of his skeleton, if you can see that. Wow. Okay, so we've got 10 minutes to draw a cat. Is your cat still there, Bella? No, it's just a big fluffy cat. All right, I'll just draw a big fluffy cat. So, oh, got some pillows. All right. Big fluffy cat. Let's see. Let's start with a big. I'm not going to draw, because I'm doing cartoony, I'm not going to draw the skeleton. I'm just going to draw some shapes. So that's the body. And then over here, I'm going to draw another shape that's small. So it looks like two hills, but that's the head and that's the body. And I'm rubbing out the bit in between. And then I'm going to put in something here. So you've got no room. Well, you have to get a new piece of paper. Cat ears. Do the little inside part. You can do some hair in there. Even give it a little frill on top. Might do a little nose up here. Because I don't think, Bella, is your cat a Persian or is he a different breed? Do you know what he is? You look like you're concentrating and figuring out how to spell. So I'm going to do sort of a Siberian, sort of grumpy, sort of slanty eyes, like that. Alice, there's something growing out of your head. I'm going to make him look grumpy too. Little grumpy mouth. And then as we come down the face, I'm going to do some hairy bits sort of sticking out towards the side and across the bottom. And then up over the back, we'll do the same thing. See how I do some that are up and down like zigzags, and then I'll do some that are free, and then a zigzag and a free. Minecraft, dude. They're pretty easy to draw. It's a good way to learn your geometric shapes as well. So all the way like that. And then I'm going to just come over this side and draw in a bit of a curve like that. And then make it thicker, even bigger. So I'm going to do a big fluffy tail. I'm just going to turn my page around because my hand works better this way. So I'm going to some of those zigzaggy hairy bits for the end of the tail. Yeah, sorry I keep turning it around, but I will show you what it looks like in a second. Okay, like that. Sorry. So you could leave it like that and not have any feet. You know, when cats curl up, they look like a loaf. But you could do sort of a foot sticking out from under the face. Then you have to change the way the fur goes. Give him little claws. That's really good, Bella. Good job. Among Us stuff is really easy too. Oh, markers, that's cool. I'm just going to, under here, I'm just going to do a quick Among Us because Among Us is just a curve like that. And you just divide up the feet. I think I've got rounded feet. Put in the visor, rub that line up, put in a highlighter if you want it, and the backpack. So see again how I started off with a shape and then I added the bits in. Put in Alice's little plant growing on his head. Oh, a real creeper experience. You mean a realistic Among Us? Is that what you're talking about, Marcus? Okay, I did draw that once before. I think I've thrown that one out there. Yeah, the other day, it was only rough, but the other day I drew I ran out of paper. We've only got a couple of minutes. Hang on, it's going to be fast again. So you could start with no shadows. No shadows. So we can start with the skeleton of someone floating in space. This is one I did the other day. And this can be the astronaut, but I did the big spiked tongue coming out as if he had a big mouth in his belly. So like the astronaut was the imposter. Like that. He could even be holding a knife. But yeah, you then try and turn this into an astronaut. But you'd have to get a good reference for what an astronaut suit looks like. With the big sort of helmet and the visor. You could still have the visor, a big sort of golden visor that they can open and close. Like that, with the tongue coming out. Because they have like little buttons and communicator stuff on them. They have sorry, getting a phone call that I have to send a voicemail. Yeah, little backpacks they have. You can have tubes and things on them. Trying to make them a bit more like a spaceman. Well, hang on, my phone's turning on. There we go. Or you could make this a bit more like Venom and have like a big curved alien tongue. With spikes on it, like a cactus. All right, so we are out of time. Can we draw Pikachu really quickly? Let's draw Pikachu floating in space. Pikachu, Pikachu, little Pikachu. He's in space, doesn't know what to do. He's gonna die because there's no oxygen. Pikachu, he's not very happy. Stripe, stripe. Okay, Pikachu floating in space.
Thank you so much, Dan. It's really fun. All right, I hope you enjoy the class. Yeah, enjoy your school holiday, and yeah, have fun. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for drawing with me today. See you all.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.